With all the films that were delayed from this year into 2021, there is now a lot to look forward to. We're just about going to be watching a new blockbuster every other weekend, sometimes even doubling down on the same weekend for 2 to 3. Now, of course, websites are running polls to see what some of the most anticipated films are, and Venom 2 is leading the charge. So when it comes to next year, just to name a few of the films that are coming out, we're going to be getting The Matrix 4, Fast and Furious 9, Jurassic World Domination, Space Jam 2, Sherlock Holmes 3, Avatar 2, Mission Impossible 7, Fantastic Beasts 3, Spider-Man 3, Venom 2. Now, I specifically mentioned just those films, not many of the other ones, because this is the ones that were used in the biggest poll making their way around the internet, specifically one that was done by Fandom. And they used these movies, so obviously there's a lot left out of here, like Marvel Studios films and multiple other big heavy hitters, but obviously this is what we gotta go by. And when it came down to it, Venom 2 is leading the charge, followed by Spider-Man 3 as the number 1 and 2 films, pretty much according to everybody that's taking these tests. So this is probably a good sign for Sony. Now, of course, the big payoff for this will be if theaters worldwide get back to some sort of normal semblance of life, because if we look at the Venom box office, we know that majority of that was China. Now, China, of course, has to open up everything if they want to be able to recreate that success. And of course, Spider-Man does really good in certain territories that still don't know how everything's gonna be by November of next year, which we can assume it's probably going to be, I guess, more back on track than it will be by the time Venom 2 comes out. So it's an interesting outlook to see what people are kind of most excited for, while at the same time, again, it's a skewed poll. You have to understand that. Yes, it's leading the charge here, but there was also some other websites that did their own, like IGN, for example, where it wasn't charting as high as some other films. So again, you kind of have to look at a medium between multiple outlets that do their own. But I think it's safe to say, regardless of what happens, Venom 2 is probably in a good position for Sony, and they're more than likely happy that they're going to have a Venom film, a Spider-Man film, and a film connected to both of these, with Morbius coming out in the same year. Now, of course, many films left off that also include Sony, like Ghostbusters, for example. So again, only time will tell how successful they are, but Sony's gotta be happy that people know that their films are coming.